After months of campaigning, millions of dollars spent, and record-setting early voting turnout, Decision Day is here.
That's right, Brianna, and voters are casting their ballot as we speak for the midterm elections, and our team has all of your commitment coverage for you. We're going to check in on the critical races here in the Triad, but first let's go to Kirsten Gutierrez, who's live at a polling place in Clemmons. Kirsten, have there been any issues that people have been seeing where you are?
We've been through precincts across Forsyth County, and so far today, all of them say, including here at Clemmons Civic Club, have said that it's been busy and steady. Now, also, some poll workers are even saying that the turnout so far for this midterm election mirrors that of a presidential election. Now, with every election, there is bound to be some sort of issues, and this morning at Piedmont International University polling site, they saw an unusual problem. Chief Judge Pushini Roseborough says some ballots were too damp, causing them to be jammed in the counting machine. When the problem started, voters put their ballots in an emergency bin that was watched over by Roseborough and two other judges. Roseborough says he's worked the polls since 2000 and has never seen anything like this before.
I think the sensitivity of the moisture and the machine, you could tell that the actual ballot was kind of moist. And I think that the moisture that affected the paper of the ballot, it wouldn't actually go through the machine. So it just would not count the ballot. So we had to kind of like wait a while until, it dried up, and actually the machine worked just fine.
Since this morning, Roseborough says they have not had any other issues besides that. A similar issue also happened in Wake County, but all of those votes will be counted. We also reached out to the Forsyth County Board of Elections director to see if there had been any more issues in Forsyth County, and we have not heard back. Live in Clemmons, Kirsten Gutierrez, WXI 12 News.
Winston-Salem police had to respond to a polling location because of a disturbance involving a polling volunteer and a poll worker. It happened just before 9 this morning at the MLK Jr. Rec Center on Pittsburgh Avenue. Police say Lakira McBride assaulted a woman who was volunteering there.
And McBride was served with a criminal summons. Police say this did not impact voting activities there. Meantime, Winston-Salem and Forsyth County voters will be voting on bonds on the ballot today.
Yeah, they have 5 bonds, and they would cost about $122 million. That money goes toward 5 different projects: parks and recreation, streets and sidewalks, housing, economic development, and public safety facilities. The funding will come from a property tax increase, about 4 cents on the dollar. Now let's check in with Mallory Lane, who's at a polling site in Guilford County. Mallory, how are the lines where you are?
Well, guys, what we're hearing is that the numbers are almost the same, echoing what happened during early voting. That turnout is high. Now, before today, election officials in Guilford County say that voter turnout during early voting was more than 100,000, and that momentum is carrying into today with high numbers at the polls. The county's election director, Charlie Calicut, telling us lines were out the door this morning before precincts even opened at 6:30. He and his staff have been in since 5:30 fielding calls from voters. He says the most common calls they're having today are from voters asking if they're registered, and if so, where they need to go to vote. He says any concerns or problems have been minimal and things that were able to be fixed immediately.
For a midterm election, this is big. Early voting showed this. The activity today showed this. It's not like a presidential, but it really truly is unlike any midterm that I've seen in recent memory.
Election officials say if you have any questions, to give them a call. They will be fielding those calls until the polls close, which happens at 7:30 tonight. Reporting live in Guilford County, Mallory Lane, WXII 12 News.
Thank you so much, Mallory. One of the biggest questions in today's election: which party will control the U.S. House of Representatives?
Yeah, Democrats need 23 seats to take control of the U.S. House. And the 13th district in North Carolina could play a big role. Democratic candidate Kathy Manning is looking to unseat Republican incumbent Ted Budd.
Margaret Johnson is live at Manning's Watch Party in Greensboro. But first, we go to Janae Lewis, who is live in Bermuda Run at Ted Budd's Watch Party. Janae.
Well, as you mentioned, this is a very big race that has received national attention. One of those 23 seats that Democrats are trying to flip to regain control of the House. Now, not only has this been a very expensive race, at times it's been a quite contentious one. Today I had a chance to catch up with the Republican incumbent Ted Budd as he went door to door, knocking on doors in Davie County, trying to make that last-minute push. Budd says they know who voted early and want to make sure that people get out to the polls. Now, this race has attracted very powerful politicians to the 13th district campaigning on his behalf. He says that kind of attention has increased voter interest in this race.
It certainly helped turnout on both sides. And, it's brought a lot of attention. It's brought the president to the area. Donald Trump Jr., Laura Trump, Ivanka Trump have all been in the area, highlighting different things, workforce-related issues, but we're glad for the attention, and it gets more people out to vote, and if that's the case, then it helps me.
Now, we're here now at Winmock in Bermuda Run, where in just a few hours, Ted Budd and his supporters will be live watching the results. Our Margaret Johnson is in Greensboro right now, where Democratic candidate Kathy Manning will be with her supporters tonight. Margaret, what has she been doing in this final day of voting?
Well, good evening to you, Janae, and to the rest of you. We are inside the Greensboro Coliseum, and this is where Democrat Kathy Manning will watch those results come in this evening. Now, just a few hours ago, we caught up with her, taking her case right to those voters in these final hours. Now, this was her 7th stop of the day at the New Light Missionary Precinct on Greensboro's east side. Now, her campaign against Republican Ted Budd has been bad and ugly. One analyst I spoke with comparing it to a Clint Eastwood style fight. So I asked Manning if she is feeling lucky tonight.
I'm not just feeling lucky. I'm feeling like we've worked hard, and we're gonna win tonight because of all the hard work of so many people. I walked to one polling site, and a woman came running up. She threw her arms around me, and she said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for running." So you gotta be optimistic when you have things like that happen.
Now take a look at this map, and this is what Manning is up against. 5 counties make up the 13th congressional district, Guilford being the largest with the most registered Democrats, and that might favor Kathy Manning, but she'll also need to pick up votes in those other 4 counties as well, and all of them lean Republican, which could favor Ted Budd. So lots to watch this evening before the winner emerges. Live in Greensboro, Margaret Johnson, WXII 12 News.
Thanks, Margaret and Janae. Voters in the Piedmont Triad are making selections in other House races as well. In the 5th District, Winston-Salem City Council member and Democrat Dee Dee Adams is challenging the incumbent Representative Virginia Foxx. And in the 6th District, Republican Representative Mark Walker is facing Democrat Ryan Waltz. Walker is the incumbent.
In Rockingham County, many eyes are on the race for the 30th Senate District as longtime incumbent Phil Berger takes on a political newcomer by the name of Jen Mangrum.
But right now, our Steve King is going to join us from Reedsville with how voter turnout is looking there. Steve, what are election officials saying to you now?
Well, they're telling me that it looks like voter turnout is greater than it was in the last midterm election in 2014, but they won't know for sure until the final numbers are released tonight. As of now, more than 7,000 voters have cast their ballots here in Rockingham County, with another 3.5 hours left until the polls close. While elections leaders are encouraged by today's turnout, they say they didn't notice a surge of early voting this year compared to 2014 because of the different number of days where people could cast their early ballots. But for the ones who waited until today to vote, they say they were glad to make their voices heard.
I'm an American, and I feel like if I didn't come to vote, then I wouldn't have a right to say anything about what happened.
There were just some minor hiccups today here in Rockingham County for voters at the Moss Street and at the Huntsville locations. The voting tabulators got jammed up for a bit, but nobody had to wait to cast their ballots. There was a backup plan in place, so everything has been smooth sailing ever since. Reporting live in Rockingham County and Reedsville, Steve King, WXII 12 News.
Steve, thanks. In Alamance County, they've had a lot of people show up to the polls today.
Exactly right. And on their ballot, several proposed bonds. The first is dedicated to Alamance County schools. $150 million worth of bonds would be used to rebuild a high school. The second is a proposed $39.6 million bond for Alamance County Community College, and that would help with renovations and additional parking for Alamance Community College there. Voters say that everyone needs to exercise their right to vote.
Voting is really important, and in order for us to engage in our community and for us to have a say in the changes that are happening to our community and to our neighbors, it's important for us to go out and exercise our right to vote.
If the bonds pass, there would be an increase to property sales taxes by a reported 7 to 8 cents per $100 of property value. And if you haven't noticed, this election is a major deal for the political field. All 435 House seats are on the ballot across the country, along with 35 Senate races and 36 gubernatorial contests. Both Democrats and Republicans hope that record early voter turnout means good news for them.
The Republican agenda is the American dream, and that's what we're doing. We're bringing back the American dream.
And this is the single most important off-year election in my lifetime. And I really think it's more than just about specific issues. I think it's about the character of the country.
And with millions of votes being cast, several issues have already popped up. In Tennessee, for example, a power outage caused issues at polling sites in Knoxville, and in Arizona, 3 separate polling locations dealt with issues as well.
Right now in our state, there's a little more than 2 hours before polls close. Remember, as long as you're in line by 7:30, you will be allowed to cast your ballot. And now would be a good time to download our WXII 12 News app. You can sign up for alerts and receive up-to-date results on the races you care about. Our app is free to download, and it can be found in your phone's app store.
Oh, we had some rain out there early on this election day, but the skies are going to be clearing out. We'll let you know what you can expect for the rest of the evening coming up.